Alright, hello everyone. Welcome to a bonus mini episode of the You Like That podcast, solo edition. My name is Jack. I'm one half of the You Like That podcast. I am the other half of the You Like That podcast today as well. I am going to put this microphone somewhere else to see if you can hear me better. That might sound really awful on the thing, and it might look a bit better as well. Excuse my room. I'm in the process of cleaning shit. I got bored and I just saw this movie on Netflix and I was like, that looks like it's going to be garbage. I should talk about it. And boy, was I right. Now, it's a Jackie Chan movie. I love Jackie Chan. Please let that be known. I am just such a big Jackie Chan fan. He is just a gem. He is such a treasure and we deserve more Jackie Chan films. He's been doing his own stunts for like 65 years. He's a little grey in this movie and, he's definitely showing his age, but he's still like doing shit, so shout out. What's it called? It's called Bleeding Steel. Bleeding Steel, that's what it's called. Came out in 2017. It's a Chinese film. Chinese in conjunction with Australia, I guess, because a lot of it's set in Australia. Came out in 2017. Looks like it came out in 2003 because it's just not good. What's the premise? The premise is bioengineering and regeneration. The kid, there's a kid. It's Jackie Chan's kid. She's like the key to regeneration and all that sort of science stuff that doesn't exist and will never exist because it's ridiculous. Jackie Chan's trying to save his daughter, trying to stop the big bad guy from putting the science into his daughter, but the science is coming out of his daughter because the science is already in his daughter and trying to go into the Darth Vader looking bloke. It's a Chinese movie. It starts off in China, all in Chinese, all dubbed. Jackie Chan dubs himself in English and is also speaking Chinese in the original, and he's actually acting in his dub, right? All the other actors they got to dub the voices over clearly aren't actors. They must just be like commercial readers or something. Maybe it's a Chinese thing and they all just speak very matter of fact and very not blunt, but just like there's no personality to it. That sounds really harsh. The English dub is so weird. They're all just like speaking very monotone, very matter of fact, just spewing out exposition, and there's no actual acting involved in the dub. It's just so weird. It's so weird to watch and listen to as well, because the Chinese actors on screen, they're clearly acting, like they were clearly given a shit on set. But the dub is not very good, except Jackie Chan. Jackie Chan is Jackie Channing it and putting all his energy into it, going gangbusters. He's great. Like, this movie, it's bad. It's real bad. It's terrible, but it's like kind of fun and kind of funny in a stupid, it's terrible way. Not like The Room that everyone loves that I just think is bad, but it's not quite, it's not quite an 80s slasher that's really bad either. It's just kind of cheap, kind of weird, kind of not good. Stupid story, stupid ending, stupid middle bits. A lot of it's set in Sydney, which is incredibly jarring if you've ever been to Sydney because you just recognize it. I've never really had that experience with movies or TV shows before where I'm just like, oh, I've walked down that street a million times. Oh, I know exactly where this building is, It's very, very weird. But what's also weird is the Resident Evil bad guy, or the bad woman, she's a bad woman for a little while in the movie. There's two bads. The bad woman is all very Resident Evil, big black coat, big, black robotic cyber, big contacts. She looks terrible. Like, she is so not threatening at all, and she sucks as well. The actress and the dub artist actually suck. But she's all... It's like broad daylight. They clearly filmed it in like beautiful autumn in Sydney or whatever. So it's like broad daylight in the morning, but it's all meant to be like neo cyberpunky. Whoa. very threatening and but it's just not. It's just like a lovely picturesque day in Sydney. If you've ever been to Sydney, you can tell, like, you'll be like, well, yeah, it smells like literal garbage and you'll get screamed at by some meth heads. But, you know, Sydney is quite a beautiful place. Oh, going back to the dubs. Sorry, God. This is, you know what these are like without Adam. Going back to the dubs. So the main big bad is this Darth Sidious looking bloke. And it's Callan Mulvey, who, Google him right now, you will know him straight away. He's in so much, like, he's just everywhere. And he's just this Australian bloke, but he's never, ever, ever the lead, except in Australian TV series like Bikie Wars and like Police Rescue and shit. And he's good. He's a good lead, but he's been in Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice and Captain America: The Winter Soldier, right? Two massive movies, two enormous movies, but he's just a background like hired goon who just sticks out like a sore thumb because it's Australian bloke Callan Mulvey, you know. And he's great as a goon because, like, in real life he has this big scar down there, and it's like he's quite a threatening looking bloke. By all accounts, a very nice bloke, but, you know, very threatening and big and imposing. And it is, if I thought Sydney was distracting, it's so distracting, him being this stupid face painted. He's got like half of his head is black. He looks like Wes Borland. And it's like some Darth Vader looking, I don't know, he's supposed to look all fucked up and like aged and like his blood is killing him or whatever. But it's Australian actor Callan Mulvey, and he is speaking English, not dubbed. He's using his own voice in the first half, like when he's in China, speaking English in an American accent, Australian actor Callan Mulvey, not dubbed. And then later in the movie, he comes back, he gets blown up. Jackie Chan blows him up and he comes back, he's all fucked up. But he looks like Mr. Freeze. They've just painted like spray tin foil on him. And he looks like Mr. Freeze, but worse. And then that voice is dubbed over by him speaking American, Australian actor Callan Mulvey, speaking in an American accent, but it's dubbed. So I don't know in the Chinese version if there's no way he learnt Chinese for this movie. Like, this clearly straight to DVD B action movie. It's sort of like the movies Liam Neeson craps out. Like, it was clearly very easy to make. Clearly didn't cost a lot of money. You can see how it was made in terms of the sets and the costume design and stuff. It's very clearly just some Go-Lo Christmas lights shoved under some plastic. And then like the hired goons and stuff was just straight out of Tron Legacy or Daft Punk. They might have actually got costumes from Tron Legacy because it's just like, you know, full face bikie helmets or whatever, leathers. It's all very neo cyberpunky, but not very. And you can see it, and the sets are so cheap. Like the last set, the big action sequence at the end, the set is just straight out of Warner Brothers movie world, like Space Force Adventure. They just closed that down for the day, and then they shot their little shootout in there. But Callan Mulvey looks terrible. He looks like Mr. Freeze. He's dubbed over. And he has quite a cool voice as well, but he's not utilizing it in this movie either. He's just speaking with an American accent. Not like, he doesn't do like a Batman gravel or anything. He's just, I don't know, it's very strange. So, you know, chasing the daughter all over the place. They go back to China for the big final sequence, which is actually on a space jet. For some reason, they had to go back to China to get on a big space jet and have the big final fight. Jackie Chan is great. I love Jackie Chan. I adore Jackie Chan. And, you know, he's doing some stuff in this movie. He's doing his own stunts. He's doing quite well. He's showing his age a little bit. There's an incredibly impressive sequence on top of the Opera House, Sydney Opera House. And I don't remember it from the news or anything. I feel like they would have been in the news that they were shooting on top of the Opera House. But it's sort of a mix between green screen and being actually on the roof of the Opera House. And there's quite a good rope stunt that he does, like hanging off the side of the Opera House. And then he slides down, and clearly that's not the Opera House. You know, it's all blah, blah, blah. cut in, cut out, green screen, real life. But you know, he was doing those rope stunts. He does some cool flips. He gets the shit kicked out of him quite a few times. There's some big explosions that he's quite near and gets flung around by. So, you know, he's still got it, man. He's still Jackie Chan. Still just the most wholesome motherfucker on the planet. He cries so much in this. Because the daughter at the beginning, she has leukemia. I should probably explain this better. She has leukemia. She's like a toddler. Clearly is dying from the leukemia. The surgeon, he's on the phone with his surgeon, and then important police stuff happens regarding Callan Mulvey Darth Maul. And he hangs up on the surgeon to go and do his police work. And the surgeon just texts him like, you just text, your daughter's fucking dead, bro. And it is like, it's such a sad moment because Jackie Chan is like bawling, real life acting, crying, like, and you don't want to see Jackie Chan cry. He's a sad old man crying, and it's just like, oh my god, my heart is bleeding for this man. But his surgeon texted him. What surgeon would text a grieving father that his daughter has just died? It's so fucking funny, and it shouldn't be, and I know it's horrible. You shouldn't laugh at it, but god, it's just such a fucking funny moment. Anyway, his doctor texts him that his daughter dies, and he's crying. He's actually acting. That was my point. He is acting. He's like crying, bawling his eyes out. So there's more times later where he's crying and, you know, having quite nice moments with his daughter. And then that's juxtaposed with the other police lady, his partner or whatever, who is not acting at all. Like, the Chinese actress isn't acting, and then the overdub actor clearly isn't acting either. So she's all just very robotic and straight-laced, and it's very uncomfortable to watch. It's uncomfortable. That's how bad the acting is in this. It's just, it feels weird to watch. She sucks. And then there's weird... So this is an MA movie. It's not really that violent. Like, it's violent, but it's not like gory or uncomfortable in that sense in any way. But it's MA-15, right? It's clearly for adults wanting to watch a B-grade action horror movie. But there's this character, and he must be from a boy band or something, because he's very good looking, very, you know, they make a big point about him being in there. And you'll see that in any movie that gets funding from China. I can't think of an example right now, but any movie that gets most of their funding from China, they will put in a Chinese pop star as one of the lead actors. It's just sort of part of the deal. I don't know. I'll look it up. It's probably a thing. It's probably not a thing. I don't know. But there's always some sort of Korean or Chinese pop star just shoved in, even if they can't act. And this guy can act. He's decent, and he's actually trying. He's overdub artist, of course, isn't. So he's like the slapstick comic relief character. And he's all very bumbling and very big, and he's like floppy, and he weighs around. There's a big scene where he's got to fight some bullies in Sydney, and he's doing all this stupid kung fu stuff to like throw them off and making stupid faces and stupid noises and stuff. But again, the overdub actor isn't acting at all, so it's very matter of fact, just reading his lines, holding the script up, no emotion at all. And it's just so weird. Like, why did they put this weird childish humor, like ridiculous slapstick, stupid jokes and stuff, and like he falls in love straight away, and he's like an anime or something. I don't watch anime, like a cartoon. He's all like very big, and when he's in love and stuff, like swooning and like that. And he's just... Why is that in an MA-15 violent action B-grade movie? It's just so weird. And he's like that for the whole fucking movie. And it is infuriating because they've clearly shoved him to the fore. His name's Shou Po. I think it's Shou Lo. So look him up. I should have looked him up. I didn't look anyone up, and I'm not going to because I don't care. So you like that podcast? We don't look anything up. Big fight happens. They somehow find out where the big spaceship is. It's in China for some reason. Callan Mulvey, American, Chinese, Australian. Callan Mulvey is now Mr. Freeze. He's supposed to be like indestructible and terrifying, and you know, this fight, the odds are supposed to be super stacked against them. running out of time. You know, they're doing the blood. He's trying to put the daughter's blood into him so he can be regenerate. He can not die. He can come back to life. And they get there with there's 20% of her life left, because of course there's a display that's like, she will be dead in 20% of losing her blood. And it's supposed to be tense and scary and stuff, but it's not. It's absolutely not. Callum Mulvey gets up, he's just a normal 6-foot Australian looking bloke in some stupid fucking spray paint. And then they beat him very, very easily. Jackie Chan falls out of a plane and lands on top of someone else's parachute and then rolls off into the ocean, and he's just fine because he gets some of the he gets some of the blood stabbed into him, and he's just fine. He grows an arm back. It looks terrible. So yeah, can't say I was disappointed, because I'm sort of disappointed because I thought it was going to be worse than it is. Like, it's not good. It's shit. It's very, very shit. And it looks shit, and it's very cheap, and it's not very interesting, and none of the stunts are really big enough. I was watching this to see some cool Jackie Chan stunt shit, and there's some of that, plenty of that, I guess, with the big rope stuff and his flips and stuff, but it's not really that impressive. It's not great. It's not Who Am I? Who Am I is the perfect balance of weird Western culture and Eastern culture not really understanding each other, but trying really hard to work together and make one movie, and Jackie Chan going bonkers and doing crazy shit, like jumping through windows and shit. So watch Who Am I? I guess is my recommendation out of this. Watch Who Am I? I'm going to go and find it and watch it tonight, because I love that movie so much when I was a teenager. What else did I want to say about this movie? Probably nothing. There's not a lot to say about it. Just watch a little bit of it. Watch the opening sequence just to see how bad the dubbing is, especially when Callum Mulvey Darth Vader walks onto screen. It's so fucking jarring and just hilarious, for all the wrong reasons. So yeah, this is a mini bonus episode that goes for fucking 20 minutes, because of course it is, because it's me. It's called Bleeding Steel. It's as bad as the title suggests, but not bad enough to waste your time watching, I guess. Just watch a little bit of it to watch the dubs. It's really fucking funny. Yeah, I'm gonna go watch Who Am I? Who Am I? Alright, we'll be back on Sunday. I don't remember when I'm putting this up. We'll be back on Sunday for the audio episode, which I don't even know what movie we're doing. I don't remember. I'm gonna have to ask Adam. And we'll be back next Tuesday with the YouTube edition. So I hope you enjoyed this little solo one. I'm probably not going to do more of these because I don't give a shit. But this is something I would have done on my Instagram, but I stopped doing my Instagram for you lot. So enjoy. We'll see you on the next You Like That podcast episode. I have been Jack. One half of the You Like That podcast. The other half is not here, but he will be on Sunday. I don't know how to end these. I don't know how to end these when Adam's here. I guess I'm just going to end it. Don't watch Bleeding Steel. It's not very good.